What up? It's your boy King Dow 225 with another edition of King Speaks. And today, I'm going to try to talk about an issue that I find very concerning. That I feel like out of all this brouhaha with fresh and fit, that they really not paying attention to, or focusing on. It's being like dismissed, and I feel like it's a huge, huge, huge red flag. I've always said police should be reformed and have psych profiles like they do unsubs on their shows like Criminal Minds. It will weed out a lot of bad cops. So I'm gonna try some reverse psych profile on a former agent and why all of Manosphere, not just the black Manosphere, should be concerned with his background. First, let's get into his training. His training as a federal agent is, and first of all, I want to get into, although I'm pro my community, pro black, this isn't going to be no all cops are bastards and fuck the police type rant. No, that's not what this on. I don't care if you are a law enforcement agent within the Manosphere. I don't care about that. I don't care. It's not about the fact that he failed to disclose it. Seemed a bit undercoverish, and I'm gonna get more into that later on why it's just all so weird, and you should have precautions with dealing with this man from this point on. This is all I'm saying. It's not trying to discredit him or tell you not to follow him. And for all his followers that will attack me, I wouldn't be surprised if y'all was on the FBI watch list right now. But that's just my opinion. I ain't saying it's true. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if you are. Let's get into his training. His training as agent, especially a federal agent, is to lie and deceive and gather information and sneak and go undercover. All things that we champion on movies, but it's despicable in real life. So with all that being said, every encounter he ever had was a calculated move. And you think I'm lying? He had this Q&A, 5-6 hour Q&A about all the allegations that have been thrown his way, right? Evidence. He gathered evidence like a federal agent. He had screenshots and recordings. And I want to ask everybody who had dealing with him that he screenshot and recorded. If you knew going into a meeting with him that he was a former agent, would you have approached the interaction with him differently? But he's gathered all this intel, information, screenshots, recordings. He's recording you without I ain't gonna say without your knowledge, but he's screenshotting. He's gathering information like an FBI agent. Every YouTube I've listened to in response to this, I would have never did that. I would never did that. I would never screenshotted you. I would have never. That's because you're not thinking like a federal agent. He will. That should concern you. That every interaction, I wouldn't be surprised if he had listening and recording devices throughout his whole house. I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised. I consider myself to be an intellectual, hood intellectual. I'm well read. I read a lot about Malcolm X, federal infiltration, Fred Hampton, law enforcement infiltration, Black Panthers infiltration, Martin Luther King. His infamous recordings are well known. Malcolm X infiltration. J. Edgar Hoover, the black the black conscious movement is the most dangerous thing to society. That's what he said. Black Panthers, Malcolm X, such and such. Do you think it's a coincidence that they're trying to set this narrative that the Manosphere is a subversive group of extremists, white supremacists, and black extremists? This is a group of men, so I'm not saying that we don't have issues with white supremacists in the white manosphere, because it exists, or they don't have black extremists from the black sector. It exists, but that's not who we are as a whole. We're not even really an organization. We're just a group of men, like-minded men, who want to create a better environment for the world. Kind of sounds like Black Panthers and Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and all that. They're trying to paint the manosphere, anybody who look at red pill content, as a subversive individual. Look that up if you don't think. Look up subversive if you don't think that. That don't seem like that's the case. He is always recording you. In his own interview, I want to take it back to the same Q&A with this dude Edabizi, or I don't want to mispronounce his name, but he's the dreadhead gentleman that supposedly kicked in his door, right? He was recording Myron, right, about him hearing Myron and Fresh and Fit telling his subs that about a party they had, and evidently him and Laura J, they was telling people that they took the money, and he was confronting them about it. He was like, and Myron just explanation on the live stream was, man, he ain't never talked to us like that, so I knew something was up. I knew he was recording me. Bruh, that's the mind of a federal agent. So the moment you suspect, this is anybody, not just a federal agent, the moment you suspect that you have been recorded on the phone, you do what? You might hang up the phone, but you're not going to implicate yourself in no criminal activity if you know you're being recorded. And in fact, if you suspect you've been recording, not only are you not going to implicate yourself in no criminal activity, you're going to try to make the person on the other end of the phone call look bad. A bad witness, a bad snitch, a liar, everything. That's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to do. So everything you were saying on this recording that you brought to defend yourself, I can't accept this truth because you knew you were being recorded. That's on training again. He's thinking like a federal agent. All the recording and screenshotting. And I know a lot of wealthy people do that to protect themselves. But no. Say, bro, you got to ask yourself again. If you would have known from the beginning that he was a former federal agent, and not 10 years ago. It was like yesterday to me. Right? If people were saying that the Manosphere is a subversive group, and this person who seemingly came out of nowhere as if he was a made-up character in a spy film to get 500,000 subscribers in less than a year. You don't feel like there's some kind of play? I want you to really think about that. All the conversations you had with any interaction you going in with him, whether you own live or not, you have to go in with no sense of privacy. Everything is being recorded. I believe that now. If you don't believe that, you are delusional. Is he undercover? I don't understand. Is he? I'm not saying he's undercover. He might really be a former agent. It just might be his past. But all I'm telling you is be cautious when dealing with him. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whether you're a follower or not. You think they not monitoring the fucked up shit some of these people say in these comment sections? You think the algorithm is the only thing catching them? Be cautious. Always recording. Then in the same interview, this example how much he know the law, and I'm not gonna say that a lot of civilians don't know this, but the recording that the dude who kicked in the door exposed them of him talking about, he telling people they took the money. He kept saying over and over and over, and it's illegal in Florida to record somebody without their knowledge, and it's illegal in Florida to record somebody without their knowledge. Him constantly saying that made me feel like, and I'm not saying this is true, that you recording people, but you would never release the truth because you know it's illegal to release illegal recordings of people without their knowledge. You know how when you go to, you watch court shows and somebody accuse somebody or something, and they out, the first thing come out their mouth is, you ain't got no proof. Where's your proof? And you already know, oh yeah, that person did that shit. We just ain't got proof. He just told on himself. Him constantly always saying, you know, it just seemed like, things that make you go, really? You know this? Federal agent? It's no one, if they'd have known from the get green that he was a federal agent, would have interacted with him in the same manner in which they did, because they would have had knowledge. They would have went into the meetings with caution. They would have recorded the meetings. Every suspicious thing that he would have done, they would have red flagged. He would have red flag, fucking with him. Nope. And I can understand that he feel a need to protect his identity, but if that's the case, why the fuck is you on a podcast almost every other night if you trying to protect your identity? That don't make sense. That don't make no damn sense. But it do make sense that you could possibly build ... So, with that being said, I don't necessarily want this to be true, but I am always hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. Preparation prevents piss poor performance. Okay, worst case scenario, he is plant to try to gather intel and destroy the Manosphere from within. Our best case scenario, he just a idiotic, egomaniac, former agent who think he get away with everything and deal with people badly. You know what I'm saying? You decide. But all I'm going to say is from this point on, if you deal with him, if you follow him, subscribe, be cautious. He's recording you. He's compiling evidence. This boy, King Dow 225 with another edition of King Speaks. It's just my suspicious mind. Hit that like, subscribe, become part of the kingdom.